Hi everyone, welcome to Final Thoughts. And guess who's back from international break? The main man himself, Pras. How you doing?
What do you mean back? Did you pod without me?
I podded without you, mate. You was jet setting, you was
Did
away.
you?
Yes, I see. You didn't even watch us. That's disgraceful. Tom,
I was on a break last week. We were on a break.
we
So I
won.
was not here.
Yes, you wasn't here, but the show must go on. We still had a lovely discussion. You should have caught it, Praz. I know you was having a little breather, but me and Tom, we kept it going. Final thoughts,
All right.
international break special. Yes, some real good stuff in there actually. And but today we're back to business. Praz and I are both on wildcard. I finally used the chip. I mean, that's
You
something,
finally
huh?
have decided that a chip must be played.
I've used one. This time I listened. I actually used one, and I suppose there's a lot to discuss. Even though with a wild card, in theory, it should be easy. I can make as many changes, as many permutations. I think I'm on about 9 or 10 plays. I'm kind of okay, Praz, but the rest,
Yeah, only today I've made 3 changes. In fact, the draft sent you, I've made 3 more changes. So
oh
it's,
wow,
everything you pick up on pressers, on people training, this stuff is changing our minds and opinions because all these decisions are so close that I fear though that the teams are converging a little bit, but that's okay. Like wildcard 8 is not a popular window anyway. So if the wildcard 8 teams converge, it's not the end of the world. Like if everyone has Saka, right? Then Saka is still low owned. If everyone has Timber is still low owned. So
yeah.
anyway, let's get to your
I
team.
think
Let's look at your team
let's get to
first.
my team. Exactly. That will kick off the discussions. Let's get straight to my team. I'm gonna run you through. Here's where I'm at the moment. So it's a 3-4-3 formation with Pope in goal. Finally decided on Pope. It's between him and
Hmm.
Raya, but we'll come back to that in a bit more detail. Double Arsenal defense. Gabriel and Timber. Juve, believe it or not, I started the season with him, then got rid of him, and now he's made an
Did
appearance
you actually sell
into the
him,
team.
or are you holding
I
on to the sale value?
no, I think I sold him.
Okay,
To be honest,
okay.
he went down, didn't he? Anyway, there was no money or nothing gained. He
Then
went to
why? Then get
4.4.
Anderson, man. What are you doing?
I'll explain to you in a minute. We're going to go for it in detail. Oh, in fact, we're tackling it now. So, Juve,
No, okay. I'm gonna try very hard not to make your team look like mine because obviously,
no, but it's
what's the
good.
point of doing that?
I want you to destroy it. Well, not even destroy it, critique it whenever you feel possible. So, you've already started on Juve. I see it. And I'll tell you
No,
why
look,
right
Diouf is
now.
good.
I think he's good, Pez. I've liked his West Ham have been hideous under Potter. We know that, but this is a new West Ham with a new manager who obviously is never going to be as terrible as Potter was. Plus, there's been rumors that they might even play a back three. I'm not sure if that's going to ever turn out to be true, but so he could be a flying wing back. But also, I think West Ham will improve defensively. Their fixtures are
Mm.
gorgeous as well. It's one of the few teams we can exploit from Gameweek 8 in our wild cards, like you said. So and he's cheap, and I can rotate him. You'll see when you see the bench in a minute. There are other players. So he's not a player, for example, like Timber and Gabriel that has to play every week. So that's the thinking there. I had Anderson. I agree, and it was quite painful. I did get rid of him, and Anderson and Van der Ven were excellent servants, but they've both left the team in this wild card. Okay, let me. Did you want me to ask some more questions, or you want to finish going through it first, Prey?
No, we go defense. We go goalkeeper defense. We do it in that order, right? I mean,
All right. Okay.
so first I want to understand rotation, right? If you're not going to play Rodon this week, and it feels like you're not going to play Rodon next week either, well, why do you have Rodon?
Bench boost. So game week
Are you
nine
bench
bench
boosting next
boost.
week?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna go for it. So this is the reason. So I'm gonna. You're looking already stressed of my team and my thought process. But
No, 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 no.
bench
This I
bench
understand. Then
boost.
why not Anderson?
Yeah. So exactly that. Because I had a couple of other players, and every time I looked at them in a planner to see game week 9, obviously this is one of the downsides of bench boost, and you don't have this. Hence why when you look at your team, you don't have to worry about his bench as much as me. But I have tried to look at other permutations. So I think Senesi and Rondon both have good fixtures in game week 9. But I think Zaka's the only one I can't remember off my head actually. If he's the one I don't think has got a good
Yeah, but
fixture.
Xhaka doesn't matter. His fixture doesn't matter, to be
It's
honest.
Chelsea. He's got Chelsea. He's got Chelsea, I think. But he takes it. Like he said, he could easily jam something. All right.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
and
So
I
you'll have
could
Sar
improve the
away to
bench.
Arsenal, Xhaka
Yes.
away to Chelsea.
Yes.
Um, Rodon has a good fixture home to West Ham. Diouf
Yeah,
is away to Leeds. I think both are good.
I think
Senesi
so.
is good. Timber is good. Gabriel is good. Voltemade, yeah, I think that's a good bench. But who's Dubravka playing next week?
He's got a decent fixture. I just can't remember. Is they playing each? It's
Away to
Leeds.
Wolves.
Yeah,
Away to Wolves.
Leeds.
Yeah, away to Wolves. That's good.
Oh, next week's Wolves. Sorry. Apologies. Yeah, that's a good bench boost. I just need the luck to land my way. So that's some of the thinking there. All right. You see 0.5 in the bank. Okay. In theory, I could improve to some of these players that you're talking about. I can improve Juve to someone else. I can improve even Rondon. That money's sitting there, and I'll tell you why it makes sense when I talk about the strikers later. Because there's someone else I'm planning for already. Yeah. So, what do you think of the defense overall? Now I've explained to you the reasons.
Now that you
for
mentioned bench
boost.
boost, I understand it. My issue is that just because of the bench boost, there are two gifts given by the FPL lords on Anderson and Richards,
Yeah.
which you're saying, nah, I'm all right. I don't want the gift. That's a little bit of an issue, I feel. Instead of Diouf, could you get Richards? No, because
Couldn't
he's
use
away
it.
to Arsenal next week as well.
That's the problem. I looked at a couple of other players, and it really bugged me. I know, and this is why we used talking about before, getting rid of the bench boost, and before the wild card, you can have the clarity. So I agree with you, but this is where I'm at. So I've got to try to make the best of it. You know.
And 9 is the only window you see, right? Not 11.
I mean, there was other ones, but then you know what kept on coming to my mind is that what if there's again injuries? What if the way I'm thinking, if they're fit, I'm just gonna go for it, and get it out the way, and then after that, I can just really focus on my starting, say 11, and maybe one or two benches. Where at the moment, I'm
But
still
just humor
considering the
me.
whole squad.
Just
Yes.
humor me.
Yeah.
West Ham are home to Burnley, game week
Yeah.
11. So Diouf is
Yeah.
good. Arsenal, you play anyway. Arsenal are away to Sunderland. They're good.
Yeah.
Nick Pope is good. Dubravka is away to West Ham. Not too bad.
It's all right.
Bournemouth are away to Villa. That's fine. You can play Senesi and Semenyo.
Yeah.
So all your players actually have good fixtures also in game week 11. Just FYI. And
Yeah.
what is better is our friend Richards is home to Brighton, and our another friend Anderson is away to Everton. So something to think about. I'm not telling you that you should think about that,
No.
but I'm trying to solve your issue that you're not going Anderson or Richards, and you're going to use a transfer later when there's going to be so much transfer need into game week 12. I was going to say 2012, game week 12, that you might want to think about that. Something to think about. Look, our teams are very similar anyway, right? So I'm just trying to give you, if I was
It's
on bench
good.
boost, I would think it's the bench boost is not important. The players are important, and then find a window when you can bench boost with them. That's what I would say.
Then what goes through my mind? Do I get myself? I mean, just for example, over international break, a lot planned for game week 9 bench boost.
Yeah, I know.
And there's injuries and
You're
stuff.
telling me this is what I was telling you
I
to
know.
get it out of the way.
I remember exactly that. And there's me now trying to do it, and you're suggesting not something else.
No, because you're
know.
changing your team
Yes,
to do it.
but then again, okay, let me flip it then. What couldn't Juve maybe become a really good asset in the upcoming game weeks? Don't you think he's got
This is
potential?
true.
Honestly, I know the DEFCON is not there. He only got it against Arsenal because they got destroyed that game. So every player could have got DEFCON.
That's a different argument. Then do that. To that,
I
I
mean,
will respond. Then keep Diouf, take Rodon up to Anderson.
Yeah. Okay, but then I'll tell you what was going through my mind. I might as well tell you right now, even though we're jumping. That would eat up some of the money. So I can do that. And I'll tell you what I was thinking. You can see up front, I've got Walter Malde. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correct.
You're
And
like butchering all the names. Rodon, not Rondon, and Volt.
Did I say Rondon?
Yes.
Did I say Rondon? Did I say Rondon?
That Everton.
You remember him? Yeah. Why is he in my head for? And the West Brom player. Wow.
Okay. I called Douglas Luiz, David Luiz all season. I just couldn't get it out of my head.
I'll be honest with you. On my channel, I literally get slaughtered for pronunciations. I mean, even Arabic names, which I should be an expert on, people pull me up. So yeah, I got to improve. But that 0.5. Okay. Say the Newcastle striker's name again.
Voltemade.
Voltemade, of course. German, isn't it?
No, there's no L. Okay. Voltemade, not Malde.
Voltemade.
Yes.
Man, that's gonna get clipped. All right. Anyway, him. He's got
him who he must not be named.
Yeah, I've given up now. What's his first name? That's what I should really research. But anyway, in game week 10, if he's not performing, that money's in the pot to bring Mateta in. That's what the thinking was, to give myself the option to be able to go there, where I would have to do surgery. So that's what that 0.5 is, a little bit of a break glass. Because I've been watching him. I'm going to be honest with you. We're jumping. I know we're talking about defense, but we're talking about the striker.
No, it's fine.
Watching him play, I don't get filled with much confidence. He's done really well recently. Like he's got returns and stuff, but performances, the way he plays football, let's just say my confidence is, not incredible. He's got 2 game weeks. If it goes well, if it looks shocking, or say his minutes become not great, or something changes, I want to be able to go to Mateta, who I do really like. Watching Mateta, seeing his numbers.
Then pick Mateta now.
But then he's got Bournemouth and Arsenal. I mean, I know wild cards are meant to be thinking for the future and not just one game.
No, I
but
get
you want
it. Your
some
game week
instant.
9 is looking ugly.
I was about to say, you want some instant gratification, just a little. I know, like, we're experienced managers and we wanna. This should be for the long run. But can you imagine if our wild card and it stinks up the place? It's just
I can
So that
imagine.
was the thinking
But, yeah, I hope it doesn't happen. But listen. Hear me out. I don't buy this logic, because you should not be thinking about transfers in 2 weeks. I've heard you say, I can do Diouf to this, I can do Voltemade to this. The one advice I would give you is plan 0. Even if some players disappoint, you've got a good bench here. Plan 0 transfers until game week 12. Take 4 free transfers. You can do it. We will do it every Thursday. We will hold our hands together and we'll say, let's roll. And so because I think in game week 12, you will need transfers, man. We have no Liverpool, and winter is coming. Like, they have amazing fixtures from game week 12.
Yeah, that's been on my mind, and one of the weaknesses of this team, which I'm going to talk to you about when we get to midfield. So that's a very good point. So from your perspective, you'd think bypass the trying to plan transfers, just get
nothing. Don't touch your team till game week 12. Go on holiday till next international break.
That's very difficult. Come on, man.
I will help
Mateta against
Don't
Arsenal
do anything
and
before
against Bournemouth.
Deadline dilemmas any week.
Excuse me, what show is that?
Oh, sorry, Final Thoughts, whatever it's called.
Okay. Yeah, you see, he picked up Walter Mardy. I'll get you on that one. But no problem. All right. So I like what you've said there, and I'm 100% going to think about it, because those positions we discussed, actually, they weren't 100% locked anyway. All right. So if you ask me the teams where I'm very confident, say Pope, Gabriel, Timber, no problem. The other lot, I was just like you said, I'm still tweaking a bit. I had a couple of other, I've got loads of different permutations, but it's the one before we put the graphic in. Okay. So that's the defense, but I'm definitely going to take on what you said on board. Should I go to the midfield?
Yep. I think those 4 are standard template, wildcard 8, like, lock it in.
Yeah. I mean, so with Saka, I found it almost difficult to swap from Gyökeres to Saka, And the reason is because I committed very early. It sounds silly, but I committed very early with him, with Gyökeres. Obviously, I got the 1 goal. Sometimes he's been unlucky. Sometimes he's had stinkers. And the back of your mind, I just think, now I'm swapping it. Trust that is it going to bite me? That's what's kind of been going through my mind. It's one of the things you have in wildcards, because you can just do whatever you want. But I'm happy with Saka in the team. I think him and Senesi, I think, were easy locks. Enzo, you can see he's yellow flagged. Now, I like him as a pick. I said it about a month or so ago, Pras, and I got pelters. I was on a space talking FPL with someone. I really like him as a player. And with no Palmer there, I think it's, like you said, this one is a given for us wildcarders. Are you concerned about him for game week 9?
No, I don't think so.
Nah.
I think he should be fine. And people on wildcard, we shouldn't worry anyway, because Senesi and Xhaka, in your case, are perfectly fine. Like, whatever is the issue with him is a very, very short-term thing, right?
Yeah, agree.
And most likely nothing. So let's say Maresca says, oh, he's fine, we'll see. I'm going to play him. I'm not going to not pick him. And then if he doesn't play, Senesi gets you, 8 points anyway. Like, it doesn't.
Oh, you just cut out there, Praz. Hopefully let me see if it's coming back. You just cut out.
Did I?
Yeah, you're back now. Yeah, you had just a little pause there. Yeah, it's cool.
I don't know when I cut out, but I was saying, yeah, I think Enzo's fine. And even if there's a little bit of doubt, unless Maresca absolutely rules him out, then that's a different story, which he won't. Like, I think he's fine. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I really like him. I think it's a good pick. And I mean, I asked you the question, but in my head, same thing. Worst comes to worst, he misses game week 9. We've got a bench, and then we want him in our teams anyway. So there no
Yep.
issues there. With Sarr, you made it sound like he was like a guaranteed pick for you. But is there not a worry really? Part of me, do you prefer Mateta, for example? Forget the price difference. Is Mateta a better
No, I
pick than
prefer
Sarr?
Sar. I prefer
You
Sar.
actually do prefer that, yeah?
I think his minutes are better. Actually, this is wrong. I don't want to say I prefer him because Mateta is on penalties as well. But there's a slight concern with Mateta in terms of, there's been a lot of talk on him being exhausted and they have midweek games. Nketiah is back. I think there are two scenarios here where Nketiah just eats up 20, 30 minutes in Premier League and in Europe, and that's just fine. But there's a scenario which is actually good for Mateta where Nketiah starts starting in Europe and Mateta just plays 90 minutes in the league. So in that case, I'll change my answer. But right now, I think there's a likelier chance that Nketiah does come on every single game, and most games he comes on for Mateta, whereas Sarr just plays like, in the past we've seen him play a lot. So that's the thinking. I also just think that when I think about my structure, when I'll talk about my wildcard team, I keep thinking about what team do I want in Game Week 12, Game Week 13, because I've been saying it through preseason that I really think Game Week 13 or 12 is a big fixture swing. You need to plan for it. You need to have a team ready for it. And I don't see a scenario where I'll have Mateta in that. Sarr could still stay because of his cheaper price and he's a midfielder. Whereas for striker slot, I just want a dead striker slot because I think you need that. So I think it's the wrong way to look at it. But if I had the choice, and I do have funds right now to do Mateta or Sarr, I'm going to choose Sarr.
Okay, fair. That one I was deliberating in my head. I really like. We know Mateta's underperformed, loads of big chances, which is a good sign. That
Yeah.
means he's in the right place, and he hasn't delivered those goals. But Crystal Palace still look like. I know they've finally that run has been stopped, but you can see them going on another run. So I just wanted your opinion on that. I'm happy with Sarr as well. At that price, I think he's a given for me as well. Zarka's the one I wanted to talk to you about. Is there better cheap midfielders? Now, bear in mind bench boost as well. I looked at, was it Longstaff, the two Leeds midfielders, sorry, Longstaff, and I forgot the other name's gone from my head. I looked at two of them because they've got a good fit. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. At one stage, you didn't see this draft. I even kept Reinders, and I was thinking, why would I keep him with City's upcoming fixtures? But I thought I could rotate. There was a lot going through my mind, but do you think Zaka's good value at 5 million? Do you think he's still a good pick?
Okay value. Like I think he's an okay pick. Most weeks you won't want to play him apart from bench boost. So he's good bench cover.
Yeah.
If I was this team and I still had to bench boost, I would be tempted to do Voltemade down to DCL and Xhaka up to Reinders or to Paqueta or Minte. I think that's a good combination, I feel, because both are then good, very playable. And you can have a nice rotation. Like next week, you don't have to play. Actually, okay, you are on bench boost. But if you want, you don't have to play Sarr away to Arsenal. You can actually play the other guys. So having 8 is not a bad thing. And I know people don't like DCL, and I don't want to like overhype DCL. But for people on bench boost, he's a nice little cheap alternative who has good fixtures in Game Week 8 and Game Week 9. Simple as that. It could have been Strand Larsen, it could have been Thiago. Just because it's DCL, it triggers people. If you had Stack on your team or Longstaff, they'll say, yeah, good, Nike, we like it. But suddenly if it's DCL, they're like, what the hell you're doing? What are you doing? Because it's fine if you don't like him, but actually for a bench boost, he's quite good. Like if I was on bench boost, I would 99% have DCL, but I don't have bench boost left, so I'll rather go for a cheap guy.
That's interesting because I tried another permutation with DCL. It allowed me to improve. I could go to Reinders or Dewsbury Hall, or Dewsbury Hall's cheap as well. But I could even get Cucurella in. That was one thing I considered. The guy who I started with done well first 3 games. Instead of say Druth, if I went DCL for example, and Chelsea's upcoming fixtures are really nice. I would like
defense though.
That's the problem. That's the real problem there. And you could argue. I mean, I was thinking about the Chelsea fixtures. And I mean, let me flick to them. The reason I'll tell you why I'll see, because let's just looking at this is the data taken from Solio Analytics, and Chelsea's upcoming fixtures for defense is not bad. I mean, this doesn't maybe paint it as good as I thought it would be actually, but they are decent fixtures for defense. And the only other coverage really you're confident in is Sanchez. He's 4.9. I did consider that. I played around with that as well. But that's what was going through my mind. You think Cucurella's too expensive, too much money in defense if I go
No,
that
he's
route?
fine. I mean, if you wanted to, I prefer that Cucurella slot if you weren't going timber, right? So when you see my team, the one I have shared here, which has again changed, but I will talk about it, is I don't mind a second expensive defender, but not three expensive defenders. Gabriel, Timber, and another expensive. You'll be
Yeah,
needing money out of that defense very soon.
yeah. Oh, well, that's the
Especially when
reason it
these
was just.
DEFCON gods exist, the cheap ones.
I'm in agreement with you, and that's the reason that one is just been just one of the combinations I tried. It's almost the one slot I played around with it a lot with Zarka. He's there at the moment. He's playing for Sunderland. At the end of the day, I've got to be realistic, but he does click up DEFCONs. He's the captain, so minutes are good, and set pieces. You might jam a couple. I'm only ever going to need him to come on if my starting 11, you know what I mean, or first 12 don't play. One of them don't play. So that's about it in the midfield. Let me go to up front. Okay. I think up front, two of these are like you said, wildcard templates. João Pedro, albeit in the last 4 games, he's stunk up the place. 2 of them red cards, I know.
Did you just buy him, or did you? Did you
No, I
have him?
already had. You remember I was one of the ones
Okay.
that.
Are you selling him tonight?
Oh, is he going down tonight?
He's going down.
Okay, so I better do that then. Yeah.
No, hold on. This is advice for
Actually,
anyone who's thinking about it. Yeah, see,
let me
you have
see.
that dilemma. So let me just talk
Yeah.
about it. The irony is
Oh,
when people will listen to it, it'll be too late. Maybe I'll do a post about it later. But the
that's a
thing
good
is, look,
point.
if you bought him at 7.6,
Mm.
did you buy him at 7.6?
I'm going to check right now. If you carry on explaining, I'm going to check right now,
So
mate.
if you bought him later at 7.6,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
then doesn't matter. Let him drop, right? Because your sale value is still 7.6 regardless. If you sold him, if you bought him at 7.5, then you're
I
going
did,
to
yeah.
lose 0.1. You bought him at 7.5.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So you're going to lose 0.1 sale value tonight. You might as well bank that sale value, let him drop and
Yes.
buy him at 7.6. So that
Cool.
if you then sell him again at 7.6, you actually gained 0.1. If you sell him at 7.7, then you didn't gain anything. You didn't lose anything. If you sell him at 7.8, then you gained a 0.1. Now, there's only one catch with this. If you sell him and he doesn't drop, then you lose 0.1.
This would be fuming. I'll be fuming, Praz.
Although
But
he has tonight and tomorrow to drop. So it's not just
yeah.
tonight. He has also Friday night if he doesn't drop tonight. But yes, if you sell him and he doesn't drop tonight and tomorrow night, then you've just lost 0.1. So I've given you the facts. You make the decision.
More than I don't want to lose the 0.1 million. My team value is not great anyway because of the start of the season I've had. So I probably will sell him. I'm going to jump on Scout, look at the figures and see how close he is to dropping. If the numbers look good, I'll do it. It's normally a difficult week to guess price changes because of the wild cards. So many wild cards out there. But
there's only like 300,000, 500,000 people wildcarding. This is not like the big wildcard 6 where there were like 4 million people wildcarding.
yeah.
It's not that big.
So you reckon it won't influence it as much? So more than likely he will drop then. Okay. All right. So that is something to consider. All right. So João Pedro's in the team. Haaland, it'd be difficult to go without. I mean, I didn't even consider it one bit, albeit with Manchester City's upcoming fixtures. I mean,
no,
they don't.
Fine.
I know. No, the way he is at the moment, sometimes there's a fine line between trying to fight, take the risks, and this one here, you can't do it. They've got difficult fixtures, but the way he's playing at the moment, it's ridiculous. And then the third spot, I had 4 people I played around with that I really like. So one of them is a bit more expensive. It's obvious, it's Gyökeres, but it would potentially mean no Saka. The other one was Bowen. I liked Bowen. I like the fixtures. I spoke about West Ham. Bowen, a little punt of the wild card. Who's the other one? Like Mateta and Walter Marde. That's correct, isn't it? Yeah. And that was the 4 I liked. I've settled on him for now, and I've kept the money in there. I know you're saying don't plan transfers. I know, but I've got myself a get out just in case he turns into Fulkrug and I need to evacuate quickly. But what do you think of that
fine.
front 3?
He won't be bad. I think this is a great front 3. I personally think maybe if you could eke out a Bowen, maybe he's slightly better short term. Long term, Voldemort is better, but then long term, you don't know about Vissa's injury and stuff. I personally don't like non-penalty taking strikers, and you have 2 here. With João Pedro, I get it. There's a chance he takes penalties, and his fixtures are just too good. With Voltemade, I fear that because he's playing midweek, weekend, minutes are not 100%. Penalties are there if Gordon isn't on the pitch. Otherwise, he's not on penalties.
Yeah.
So not a huge fan. I would have just said get Mateta or get Calvert-Lewin. Like I said, I would change this team in 4 ways. Not that you should do it. This is just my view of a bench boost team. Voltemade would beat Calvert-Lewin. I would take Xhaka up to... Who do I like? I like Paqueta. I like Minte. I like Reinders. Either of those three work. And then I would just leave this. Like, if you really wanted Diouf, that's fine. And then it's a good team. But this is also a good team.
So you're saying it's not a good team? Oh, thanks. Okay. I'm glad you said that last part, Dev.
I mean, are you convinced Xhaka is on pens?
I'm not sure. No, I think this season's one of the few seasons where we're actually guessing. Even are you convinced Saka or Gyökeres is on pens? We still don't 100% know. Are we convinced with Pedro and Enzo? Some say he was winking. He said you can have that. I mean, it's they'll say there's all of the...
No. Let me be clear. With Pedro and Enzo, we are not convinced. But when you have both, you have the penalty taker, right?
Yeah.
Until Palmer is back. With Saka, it's not about whether he's on penalties. He was already taking corners. And for Arsenal, corners is like half a penalty, right?
It is, you're right.
So him being on corners was already big. But we have gone from thinking Saka is not on penalties to 50% being on penalties. That's big already. Yeah. So I'm just defending here for Saka. For Voltemade, you can, if you tell me he's playing 90 minutes every game and takes penalties sometimes when Gordon's on the pitch, I'll tell you great. But if he's not playing 90 minutes every single game, and we are not sure about it, he could, but we're not sure. Then I'm saying, you know what? Like, no pens, not 90 minutes. Newcastle's fixtures are okay in the next 5. They're not amazing. They're not like Chelsea's. So therefore, I'm a little bit lukewarm. Can he make my team later? Absolutely. I could do João Pedro to Voltemade in game week 12 or 13, right? So that's what I was trying to say. It's not that I don't like the pick. It's because you have bench boost to get out of the way as well that I would pick a cheaper guy, a cheaper striker that enables it all. In your case, that's Xhaka. In my case, that would have been DCL, because I know I've spoken to so many Leeds fans that he should be on penalties.
Yeah. That's pretty big, that. And I did try, I've got it in front of me, my screenshot there, a team with him in there. I know it would cause havoc. People would be teasing me with DCL. But like you said, that's just a stigma from previous seasons where he's been a troll. I haven't got that in my mind. I've got no issues with putting him in. And I might try it. But going back to the 90 minutes thing, that's become more difficult. So even Mateta, who we both like, takes penalties. You just said yourself, with the midweek fixtures and Nketiah, his minutes are not. It's becoming a common theme at the moment.
I don't like any strikers. It's why I want to make one striker a dead spot.
That explains your wildcard team, which we're going to come on to in a minute. I think we've spoken so much about mine. Okay, yeah, I think we've covered. I'm going to take some of those things that you said actually into consideration. But apart from that, I do like the team. I think it's a good team. I'm happy with it. Looking at it like this,
solid team.
I think so. I think it's a very, maybe balanced is the word. Maybe not aggressive is the word I was thinking. Sometimes on a wild card you think, but I think at the moment, I'm not sure what you think, that no Liverpool, no Palmer, we've been limited with options at the moment. To have not Liverpool is what's really, I think personally, hurt this window a little bit with wild card. It really has. We couldn't take even more. Say, for example, Isaac was flowing. We've got the opportunity to move our team in a position where we can exploit that. I mean, we can't. So that's the reason I've ended up like here. I don't find it the most exciting. I've considered Eza. I think we'll talk about that a bit more soon. The one thing I wanted to speak to you about this team and your opinion. You said about don't book transfers in and stuff. With this team here, I can't get to Salah quickly. So if Salah does activate, and just say this weekend against your boys, he scores 2, and then the week after he's 2 again, all of a sudden, I can't get to Salah without maybe 3 transfers. I think is that right? Of course, that's what I mean. It's very balanced. That's the problem. I mean,
this is why you need to save transfers. So you have 3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal though, isn't it? Like, if we really
you can't have it all. Like, you can start with Salah, but you won't have Saka, and you won't have João Pedro. Like, I can do why don't we go to my team, man? If you're talking about Salah, then
let's go to it.
So in my team, the way it stands is I can do João Pedro and Saka to Salah and DCL. So, actually Eze will also come down to a Minte or something, and Munoz will
Yeah,
come up to Timber. Which actually, the thing I should start with is that after Ben White was not seen in training today, there is no chance I'm not going Timber. It would be stupid not to go Timber, right? A Timber with good minutes is probably the best defender in the game right now.
agree.
So I was debating between Eze and Timber. So for Arsenal, I think not seeing Ben White in training today. Now, of course, Arteta will confirm this tomorrow on what the exact issue is. But if he's vague about it, we've seen this story before with Zinchenko, with other players, not just even at Arsenal, at other places where there's somebody who's come in and the other player starts to get injured a lot and he's not seen, and when he plays he looks rusty, and that's done. That slot is done. So maybe I'm being early with my celebrations and tomorrow Ben White is fine, but if Ben White is out, there's no chance I don't go Timber. So in this draft already I've changed Munoz and Eze back to Timber and Gordon.
Okay.
So
What would you do if it's only 1 week, say, with Ben White? Does that impact you? Or like just say the manager gives a very vague, it's nothing really, back next week.
no, as long as he's out, as long as he's injured, there's something wrong with him, I think we get a clear 3-4 week window with like White will come back for the Carabao Cup, which happens in 2.5 weeks or something like that. So that's my view. Of course, there is some risk with Timber, but Ben White's injury further increases appeal. Like I was going to pick him even if Ben White was fully fit, but when he's out, that's even better. So an attacking defender from Arsenal, the best defense, when everybody else has Gabriel, it's just too good to be true. So Munoz will become Timber. You see the thing I was talking about my defense. So Rodon I'm actually playing him because away to Burnley. Look at his clean sheet odds this week. If you go to Rob T's chart,
Let's go there. Clean sheet odds. All right. Is it this one here you want on?
No, the main
Oh,
one. But
Leeds.
this
You
is
want
fine.
Leeds?
It,
What Leeds is one?
yeah, this one. Yeah, this
Okay.
one. So Leeds is 36% clean sheet odds. Look at Diouf. Where's West Ham? 27%. So Leeds is
27%.
better. Now, of course,
It is
Diouf has
better.
goal threat as well. But what I'm saying is Leeds is as good as anyone else this week. Like, look at
Agree.
who's our friend? Sinesi. Sinesi's odds are
23%.
23 compared to Leeds 36. 13% is
Yeah.
material. So going back to my team, Rodon is not only a good pick because he's just 4.0 cheap, and I got him before the price rise. So he's 4.0 and cheap, but playable this week. Next week, he'll play again, home to West Ham, and I'll be benching Sarr away to Arsenal. So he's helping me out for two reasons. He's helping me out this week where I can play him. He'll help me out next week when I can bench Sarr. So that's the thinking with Rodon, that I want to start him. And if I am starting him, then I can have Anderson on my bench for 2 weeks, and then Anderson comes on for his fixtures from game week 10. That's the defense. It's not very different from yours, but because I don't have to bench boost, I can play the rotation a little bit differently to you. So Timber
let me
then
ask you,
comes in.
Pras, while you're there, mate. Sanchez, did you consider Pope? You prefer?
I have, and that's the other change.
Okay.
I mean, the thing I like is having 3 Chelsea when nobody has Chelsea, but I think I'm being a little stubborn. Like having thought about very long-term fixtures, if I make a wild card from game week 12 onwards, Pope is 100% in.
Yeah.
So I'm really just saying, how much is Sanchez going to outscore Pope in these 5 weeks that it makes it worth it? I have actually another idea for Pope. Tell me if it's stupid. This week, it has been said by the manager, Daniel Farke, that Darlow is going to start. Well, he said Perry can't start. Darlow is also 4.0. What if you go Pope and Darlow and start Darlow this week?
No. Why do you have to do the Pope and Darlow? I'm trying to think. Why do you have to do it that way?
Because Pope is away to Brighton. His clean sheets are rubbish this week.
Yeah, not great. Okay, I see your point. To cover yourself just for this week here. Okay.
Just 1 week. Then Pope is playing forever.
Plays and you haven't got bench boost or nothing to worry about. Yeah, that can work.
And people will go like, Dubravka plays, Darlow is not going to play in 5 weeks. But if Pope is injured, I'll be using a transfer on Pope. I'm not going to be leaving him.
I would say the odds of that going wrong, I mean, a lot of stuff would have to happen for a keeper to get injured. And then like you said, and then you having other fires to fight, for example. But I actually, that could work, that could work. Yeah. That could work. No problem. You lose out on the gift that is Dubravka, £4 million playing goalkeeper is ridiculous.
I'll have to think about it. So long story short, I am thinking So this is me aligning to the template, right? Which is not nice. But look, if this is Zoff, by the way, from Zoff is telling me Sanchez is rubbish. Don't pick Sanchez. And then Sanchez's fixtures after 12 are not great either. So it's like then after 12, I'll be like, how I was with Cells every week saying, oh, bloody Sanchez. Oh, bloody Sanchez. With Pope, at least I know, okay, it's a good team and they have good long-term fixtures. So I'll hold him and not complain. So I'm thinking, so this backline then looks very similar to yours, essentially
Yeah.
just having, instead of your Diouf, I'll have Anderson.
Yeah.
So then I move forward. My midfield is similar to yours as well. So instead of Eze, I've got Gordon. Instead of your Voltemade, I've got Gordon. Basically, that's my team.
So with Gordon, are you not concerned about? I mean, I love the minutes. Sorry, not minutes. I love the penalties, and I rate him as a player. Is the minutes an issue? We just spoke minutes a minute ago. That's an issue, isn't it? 65 minutes.
If minutes was not an issue, then everybody would pick him right now.
Totally agree.
So we all agree that minutes is an issue. The way I see it is, like, if you see this week's goal scoring odds, it's the same as Voltemade, right? It's exactly the same. So I'm just thinking who to pick in that slot. You tell me, under 8 million, who should I pick as the midfielder? I can afford anyone. Under 8.
Let me have a look. I'm just looking at the goal scoring odds of Voltemade. Oh yeah, they're exactly the same. Yeah, interesting.
And with Gordon, I see only upside because it's already baked in that he'll play 60, 65 minutes.
Yeah.
So maybe he becomes that big dog. Like there was this England interview, this international break. I don't know if you saw it, where somebody asked him about the Voltemade penalty.
Yeah,
what did he say?
I saw he said me. I'm taking. Basically, he just confirmed it. No, he didn't
He was
even.
like, I was gutted. Like, I'm happy, but I was gutted that I didn't get to take it. There is that, what we call on the wire, big dog energy. Like, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
So
no, he does rate himself. He does rate himself. I like him.
World Cup year.
As I said.
It's his slot, left wing. Like, people will say, oh, get Grealish on there, get Foden there. I think Gordon's hanging on to that slot. Like, if he continues to play well and get minutes.
What was the issue with these minutes? Anyway, going back, digging, was it just because he's come back from
that
injury
red
and
card.
They just managed it? Yeah. Against, I remember against Van Dijk. Was that what it was? And is the manager punishing him because they've got so much class in the wide areas? Because the reason I say this to you, Gordon is almost their marquee player. I remember Liverpool were actually close to, they were looking at him for huge money before, obviously, maybe that was a decoy. They wanted only Isaac. But the point I'm getting at, he is their marquee player. So I find it strange that Eddie Howe is almost playing all these minutes. I don't get it. It won't take long for a play like that.
He's being conservative is what it is. But then if you go down the list of midfielders under 7 million, right?
Yeah.
Who else do you want me to pick? Like, okay, there's Semenyo,
Sar,
there's Indai.
Indai is a good option, actually. Yeah. Why haven't you considered Indai? You're a big fan of him. Penalties, good minutes, DEFCON. Why is he not in your consideration?
Everyone has him, man, who wildcarded in 6. Like, he's all right. He's nice. But then I think between Gordon and Indai, I probably prefer Gordon.
Okay. Maybe and that is because you're on wild card and it's an opportunity for you to be a bit more different, maybe more aggressive. Like I was saying earlier on, do you reckon, is that what it is?
Probably. Like, punt with Gordon, and he's at the price where, okay, I can move him later. I can use those funds for later. He's going to become Bruno later anyway. We all know that. So that's... I'm not decided on that Gordon spot. Actually, that's the one. And one more change I made today. I changed Obi, my 4.3, to a 4.4.
The West Ham guy,
yeah. So apparently he's going to get minutes.
Yeah, that's so I read. I'm not quite sure if that is the case. Who knows? Wilson possibly wasn't even feeling 100%. Maybe we don't know. But at that price point, you don't really care, do you? He's a dead spot for you. So it's a bonus if he does. You know what I mean? You don't ever really need him. So the team is very similar to mine. You've got no bench boost, so you've left 0.7 in the bank. Is that intentional or no? Just the way you've ended up.
I could end up leaving more. Like, I could do
Gordon
down to... Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say that 0.7 is with this team. You've made some tweaks. I don't know your value at the moment, actually.
No, it's similar. It's not very different.
Okay.
It's not very different, the other team. So it's got money left in the bank. I think about 0.5 left in the bank. And I could leave even more. Like instead of Gordon, I could just go Minte or Paqueta and just leave like another, 2.5, or is it 2.5? 6? No, about a million and a half in the bank. I could just leave it there. The beauty with leaving with 2 million in the bank is you can do Saka, João Pedro to cheap striker and Salah in 2 moves.
Yeah.
So that's on my mind. So this is why that Gordon slot, I'm not sure. And this is why originally I had this Eze and Munoz draft where I was like, you know what? Eze is also a minutes risk. Timber is also a minutes risk. But Munoz is good. And so just get that done. But with Timber, I'm tempted now. So I'll punt on a midfielder. I'll think of someone. Or if not, I'll just go for Gordon, man. Gordon's been good to me when I get him.
Yeah, okay. Nothing. It's a good pick. Simple as that. Only the minutes, but like you said, that might work in your favor because less people go for him. João Pedro, you didn't consider any of the other guys, Bowen and stuff like. Because I know João Pedro, you dodged him at the start, but you admitted you wasn't sure about his minutes,
but
and
now
it
it's
turned out to
time.
be good. Now it's time, yeah.
Time.
Okay, all right.
It's good fixtures, guaranteed minutes. Not guaranteed, but he has that suspension midweek. I have found out today that Brazil are not even going to South America in the next international break. So everything just keeps working out for João Pedro. Like this guy is just, you can't beat him. He didn't go to international duty this time. He's not playing midweek, so he's gonna play the Forest game where you want him to play. You guys are gonna play the Sunderland at home game. It's great. Like let him fall tonight. Now today I can be very very complimentary about João Pedro because I'm hoping that last night he has dropped. So I asked, yes, we should buy João Pedro.
You want to pick up a little bargain, but so
Yeah,
you're not
a little
concerned.
odd
2
one this
shots
time.
in 4 games. You don't let that things like that put you off. Two
When
shots
you
in 4
have
games.
10 men and you play Liverpool, sometimes that thing happen. I
Oh,
can guarantee you he'll have more than 2 shots against Nottingham Forest and Sunderland. That's just how football works.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm in agreement. I had to ask you that question, but I totally agree. 10 men against Liverpool, you're going to be chasing shadows, so it's pointless. I like your team, and I reckon I think I would have been in a 3-5-2 if it wasn't for bench boost. I'm honest with you. I've got an opportunity to still do this, but like you said, I have to go DCL. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's something I am going to consider. That position there. I'm not 100%. It's something I'll consider. If I think I can improve the defense and midfield spot, someone better than Zaka and someone better than maybe Juve, just say, or I can get Anderson in, then I am 100% going to consider it. But I like your team, Pras. Before we actually finish off, I just want to take you through. So I wanted to look at this here. Let me come to this screen here. Are we missing an opportunity here? Look where Mr. Mohamed Salah is. Now, we know this season we spoke like last week, me and Tom done a great job on it. But me and you before have spoke about Liverpool and the issues and whatnot. Are we not missing the opportunity here? Mohamed Salah against Manchester United. You know what he normally does. Or say even Isaac. Look what those two high up. We're on a wild card. We're in a position we can make our team whatever we want. Are we? Do you reckon we're missing a trick, or you still not? Is the confidence not there at the moment?
I have a very good Salah draft. The draft that I've just shared, you can just do João Pedro to DCL, Saka to Salah, and instead of Gordon, get Paqueta. It's not that difficult.
That's not too bad,
That's
actually.
it. You don't have to change anyone else.
Could I do that even with considering I've got bench boost in my mind? I don't think so.
You
You
can't.
have to have a dead spot. I can't. Okay. Yeah.
So it's on my mind, and I know we're doing this on a Friday before press conferences, but what's going to take me to do the Salah draft is 2 things. One, Maresca needs to come and say that João Pedro is still having a little bit of issues. Like, his issues are not finished. So then I'm saying, you know what? I don't need to go João Pedro even with this great fixtures because his minutes will be managed, and then DCL is fine. Second thing I need him to say is Palmer could be back soon. And why does that matter? Because if I go for a Salah Haaland draft, I'll be free hitting in Game Week 11 because Salah is actually away to Man City in Game Week 11. And then in Game Week 11, Chelsea has great fixtures, Arsenal have great fixtures. I could get Palmer on a free hit. So free hit 11 works if you have a Salah Haaland draft. So tomorrow, if he says Palmer is back, he's not too far. And if he says João Pedro has niggles, you come back to me and I'll show you my Salah Haaland draft. But apart from that, what I'm thinking is you're getting Salah, but you're compromising on João Pedro and Saka, who have blinding fixtures in the next 4 game weeks. Just get Salah after that. Like, leave enough money, leave enough flexibility, 3 free transfers, you can get him. Or even 2 free transfers. If I, instead of Gordon, I just go Paqueta or Minte. So that's the thinking.
Yeah, that is been on my mind, But like you said, bench boost has hindered me there because I was thinking that might be my aggressive move. It has been on my mind. I'm not comfortable with not owning no Liverpool, but it is what it is. And I like that you've already tested that combination out. Another question, you mentioned Paquet a couple of times, and I've tried him as well. Is he still going to be as good? I'm being selfish here. I'm asking for me, actually. Is he still going to be as good under Nuno? Like, because we know
We
he's
have
got
no
at
idea.
one stage, we no idea, is it? That's what I'm worried about. And I know that question no one will know, but the point I'm getting, is he still going to play in a similar position? We don't know the setup properly.
He could play
Is he still
striker. If they play 3-5-2, who are the two strikers, you think?
I'm not sure because we can't bank on
Bowen and
Wilson.
Paqueta.
Yeah, more than likely, yeah. Bowen will have to get
So there is a chance he plays striker. There's a chance he plays number 10, or there's a chance he's really rubbish because it's Nuno and his teams they create one XG a game. So all scenarios are
know.
possible, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I'd ask you that because that's another combination that could go instead of, if you could pick between another selfish question here, between Reinders and Paquet, who's a better option?
I would pick Paqueta because of the upside that he could bring, and his fixtures next 4 are clearly better. I do
Yeah.
think Reinders will need to come back later. So you are committing a transfer, but I think it may be worth it. Like, again, it's a little bit like Indai, right? Take him on, like take on Reinders. Cherki's fit, Marmoush is fit, Foden is doing well. I'm not saying Reinders misses a game or two, but maybe his minutes are managed and you can take him on for the 4 weeks where he has bad fixtures.
But Reinders has
Apart
been
from
one of
this
those
week.
players. Yeah, this is the thing. Reinders has been one of those players. I think a lot of people are a bit too easily getting rid of him. I think he could come back to hurt us because he's a very good player, and look at the fixtures and his price point is ridiculous. But I've struggled getting rid of him in my team. I really really like him. I rate him. So yeah, that's the reason I asked you that question. But it's interesting he still said Paquet. Cool. You know what? I think we are good, Pras. We've covered everything with our wild cards. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss or run through?
No, awesome. Look forward to it. I don't think much will change, but 3-4 positions could change. But it's looking good, man. Looking good. Looking good to roll until the next international break.
It's good to have you back. Are we going to have you around in the next international break? Or are you jet setting again?
I was not jet setting this week either. I just needed a break, man. Like 3-4 pods a week takes its toll. So I just needed a break from life.
Do you know what Tom said to me? And it wasn't nice because that means he said the big YouTubers, they've all gone on holiday. It's only us lot that stayed. So
obviously he was wrong because you were not on holiday.
No, don't even try it. You lot was all jet setting. I can see all, and us lot, we've got to stay and do.
It's these people who don't have kids. People who don't have kids were jet setting. Us people who have kids in school, we cannot jet set during term time. Like, people don't understand.
Chance.
We cannot change our lives according to international breaks. I mean, when I look at people going on holiday over international break, like, what a life. For us, it's like kids, like, it's tough, man. Like, when you can't take holidays during term.
And have you seen how cheap the holidays are? You know how unfair it is for us. Have you seen I see we're going off on a tangent here. Listen, we're gonna before we jump off,
let's take this offline. Let's complain about kids
exactly.
after.
Let's moan. We'll do a separate pod for that. It's a members pod. Me and Pras complaining about travel flights. But please like and subscribe. Really appreciate that. And
to the travel thing, or you mean this one? Yes, please like.
No, this pod here, the travel one, that's going to be an exclusive. We're going to do, don't worry, a pod on that soon. But yeah, take it easy, guys, and I'll see you next week.
All right, take care.